Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to do a blood glucose check, administering insulin and mixing insulin. So first I'm just going to go ahead and do my hand hygiene and then come into my bedroom here. So I'm going to look at my MAR. My patient is Joanne Jones, date of birth 12/3/67, and she is allergic to penicillin. Checking my date as well, so it's the 19th of October, and we are going to be doing our bedtime medications. So at 2100, that is what we are doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and look. So first we're going to be doing a blood glucose check. She has those multiple times a day, so we're going to be doing her last one before bed at 2100. She's going to get a Lantus Flex Pen 16 units at bedtime, and she's also going to be getting Novolog 5 units sub-Q at bedtime, plus her sliding scale. So depending on what her blood glucose is, will depend on how much insulin she'll be getting from there. So we're just going to go ahead and do that first, the blood glucose. So I just want to make sure I have everything I need here. So I have my pen, needles, okay. And I'll be needing a cotton ball as well, and then I have my alcohol swabs. So now I can go ahead and go to Joanne's room and check her blood glucose level. Knock, knock, Joanne.
Hi.
Hello. My name is McKenna, and I'm going to be a student nurse. And I'm just going to go ahead and get your blood glucose level for the evening. Is that okay?
Okay, sounds great.
Right, perfect. So now I'm just going to go ahead, perform my hand hygiene again, and grab a new set of gloves. Okay, Joanne, can you go ahead and confirm your name and date of birth for me?
Joanne Jones, 12/3/67.
Perfect. And then what are you allergic to?
I'm allergic to penicillin.
Perfect. That is what I have. Matches my MAR. Great. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get your blood glucose level, okay, so that I know how much insulin you're going to get this evening, all right?
All right, sounds good.
Perfect. So first, I'm just going to go ahead and clean your finger. Making sure I clean the side really well, because that's where we're going to be poking, not on the top. Nice and clean. Okay, set that to the side. Okay, moving the top. Make sure I set that right. Okay. Then I'll get out one of my testing strips here. All right, so make sure your finger's completely dry. And then, all right, Joanne, I'm gonna be a little bit of a poke, okay?
Okay.
All right, go here, poke. And then we just wanna go ahead and wipe off that first initial blood. Go ahead and squeeze. Okay. All right, your blood sugar is 176, Joanne, okay?
Okay.
Make sure you wipe off that extra blood. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the med room and get your insulins ready, and I will be back in just a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna come over here. And then at this point, I would remove my needle, put it in the sharps, dispose of everything I needed to, clean my equipment, remove my gloves, do my hand hygiene. Gonna get a new set of gloves. We're going into my bedroom here. So for just video purposes, I'm just gonna go ahead and move everything out of the way here. Okay, so I did my hand hygiene. I'm gonna get on my new gloves here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just write down Joanne's blood glucose level was 176. So I have that charted. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and get her Novolog and her Lantus Flex Pen ready. So looking at my sliding scale here for Novolog for Joanne Jones, checking my MAR. Novolog 5 units sub-Q at bedtime plus the sliding scale. So I'm gonna go ahead and look over here. So she actually is not gonna be getting any units of insulin according to the sliding scale. So she's just gonna be getting the 5 units, nothing extra. So I would have a nurse double check that, make sure that I was correct before drawing up the insulin. And then she's also gonna be getting her Lantus Flex Pen 16 units at bedtime. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go in her drawer here. Oops, sorry. Gonna get out her pen. Get out my needle here, And then here is my Novolog and the needle for my pen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drop my insulin first. So get out my insulin here, check to make sure it's not cloudy, there's nothing floating. I would have another nurse double check that I'm obviously giving the right medication, the right amount. Go ahead, pop off my top, clean the top very well. Just gonna go ahead and let that sit for a second. So since I'm getting 5 units, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull back 5 units of air. Remove my alcohol swab here. Okay. And I would want to make sure I don't have any air bubbles here. Perfect. And then once again, I would want to make sure I had a second nurse double check what I drew up, make sure everything looked good. I would check my expiration date on there, everything that I needed to do. So that is her Novolog and it is ready to go. And then I'm going to get her pen ready. So her pen is the Lantis Flex pen, so I'm just going to go ahead and look at that, checking my expiration date on here. Once again, checking, make sure it's not cloudy, make sure there's nothing floating. And I would have a nurse double check that as well, make sure that I'm giving the 16 units and that I draw off the right amount. So clean the top first. And then I'll just go ahead, remove the top here from my needle and screw that on. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and move it to 2 and I'm gonna prime my needle. So I'm just gonna go ahead and push that, make sure I see liquid coming out of the top of my needle here. And then once again, 16 units. So then I'm just gonna go ahead and turn my pen to 16 units. Perfect. And so then now my pen is just ready to go. So we're just gonna go ahead and set it there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead, take a look at my MAR again. So I have my Novolog, 5 units sub-Q. At bedtime plus my sliding scale, I had my nurse double check my sliding scale. I'm not giving any extra, just my 5 units. Lantis Flex pen, 16 units, so I have that there. And I did her blood glucose check. Making sure, allergies, checking everything, making sure I'm good to go. And then I'm just gonna go ahead, remove my gloves, and I am ready to go to Joanne's room. So then I'm gonna head that way. Knock, knock, Joanne.
Hi.
All right. I'm here to give you your insulin, okay?
All right.
All right. So then once again at the bed, or before you enter the room, checking your MAR, making sure everything's good to go. Do my hand hygiene. Get a new set of gloves. Okay, Joanne, can you go ahead and confirm your date of birth for me again?
Joanne Jones, 12/3/67.
Perfect. And then you're allergic to penicillin, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay, so then, all right, Joanne, so your blood sugar was 176. So according to your sliding scale, you're not going to be getting any extra insulin, just that the 5 units of Novolog, okay?
Okay.
And then you're going to be getting your Lantis Flex pen that you usually get at bedtime. You'll be getting your 16 units that you usually get. So first, I'm going to go ahead and move that out of the way here. So we're going to go ahead and do your insulin first. Is that okay?
That sounds good.
Perfect. So I'm going to be doing this right in the back of your arm. So just going to go ahead and clean that really well with an alcohol swab in a circular motion. Okay. And then once again, I would want to go ahead, double check, Novolog. I have my 5 units. I don't have anything extra. So just doing my extra check. I would remove my cap here and then pinch my skin. Okay, little poke, Joanne, okay? Okay. Her insulin has now been given, so then I would get rid of that into the sharps container. Okay, Joanne, now we're going to do your pen, okay? Your Lantis pen.
Okay.
So then I would pull out my pen here, remove my top, double checking. I have my 16 unit set. I already primed my needle. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this into your stomach, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and do this on the opposite side. So just little poke, poke, and then I would push this button here and I would want to make sure I hold it for at least 10 seconds to make sure that all the medication is administered. All right, so that's done. I would also alcohol swab prior to giving that. Sorry about that, sorry. So alcohol swab it, give her her medication, and then she's good to go with that. Okay, Joanne, so I'm just going to be back to check on you in 20 to 30 minutes, okay, to make sure you're not having any reaction to that insulin, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, I think that's great.
Okay, perfect. So you have your remote, your call light, and I will be back shortly.
Okay.
Okay, and then I would dispose of anything. I would get rid of this into my sharps container and my needle from here, and then dispose of my gloves, do my hand hygiene again, and then new set of gloves. All right. So now that I'm back into the med room here, I'm just gonna go ahead, like I said, I would get rid of the needle off here, dispose of this into the sharps, but for video's sake, I'm just gonna go ahead and set it to the side. Put my medication back. And then the last step I would do is just my charting. So she had her Novolog, I gave that into her left upper arm, where I gave it, what time I gave it, sign that off. Lantus Flex Pen I gave into her right lower quadrant down there, and I would mark that, what time I gave it, how much I gave it, who I had double check it and everything. And then same with her blood glucose. So I wrote that down earlier that it was 176. So now that is all documented. So now I'm just going to be demonstrating how I would mix 2 insulins. So I would do my hand hygiene, put on my new set of gloves here. And I'm just going to get out my 2 separate, so my long acting and my short acting. So that's what I have here. And then also I need a needle. So first, I would pop my tops off, check my expiration dates. We might have to roll them around a little bit so that nothing's at the bottom separated. Check for anything floating, anything like that. And then when it comes to mixing 2 insulins, I would just have a second nurse with me the whole time I'm doing it so she can watch me draw it up, help me make sure I'm doing it right, because it is something you want to be very careful with. So I would go ahead and do that, pop off my tops, and then go ahead and just clean my tops here. And I'm just going to be drawing up 5 of each for the video. So I'm just going to clean the top. Okay. Remove my cotton swabs there. Alright, so I'm just going to pull back to 10 here because that's how much I'm going to be drawing up, 5 of each. So now that I have that, you always want to draw up your cloudy, or your clear, and then your cloudy. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my 5 units of air into my cloudy first, okay? And then I'll pull that out, go ahead and go into my clear here, and put my other 5. And then I'm just going to draw up 5 units of my clear. Okay, now that I did that, so I'm going to go ahead and set this down for just a second while I clean my top again. So I'm going to go ahead, clean the top of my cloudy, and then I will draw up my other 5 units of this. Being very careful not to push any back into the vial or to overdraw. You want to be exact. Okay. So then I would have my second nurse obviously check to make sure I have the right amount, that I did everything correctly, and that I'm good to go. And then you are good to go with your insulin.